shooting champion.
Good morning everyone and welcome to World of Sport Replay on what is a great sporting weekend here in Melbourne. Of course, the VFL Grand Final yesterday and today a first for Victoria with the first Sunday race meeting at Moonee Valley. You'll see more of that here on 7. Moonee Valley Stakes Day a little bit later on today, and of course in the next hour we'll be taking a look at the highlights of racing throughout the week. We'll be having a look at the Sydney meeting yesterday at Randwick, George Main Stakes Day. Also greyhound racing incorporating the Arnott Harper National Sprint Championship Grand Final at Angle Park in Adelaide last Thursday night, and harness racing from the Valley last night where it was certainly a very big day. But all of that coming up shortly. In the meantime, let's take a look at Tats Lotto, draw number 541, and the Division 1 prize pool, almost $1.507 million. Numbers were 2, 11, 21, 27, 35 and 37, with the supplementary numbers 20 and 30. In Super 66, the numbers you needed there were 6, 6, 2, 2, 0 and 7, and the prize pool almost $453,000. Tats Lotto and Super 66 as drawn here on 7 last night. Well, that great day of racing coming up at Moonee Valley today, of course, but it was also a big day in Sydney yesterday. We'll be back to take a look at the highlights after this break. Yesterday was at Cranbourne and Ballarat, but also the big program in Sydney at Randwick with the running of the George Main Stakes being the highlight of the card. In the first event, the favourite here was Mays K at 5 to 4, and your commentator in Sydney yesterday was Ian Craig.
Racing in the breeders, Mays K near an inside alley, jumped out reasonably well. Wide out on the track, hot action away quickly with Champagne Party. Wonga Chief and True Cobber showing speed, and here's Mays K burning right up on the inside and Doff the Cap going with him. At the end of 300, Mays K on the inside and Doff the Cap. 3 lengths Wonga Chief and then Country Club. A length True Cobber and I'm Ready, followed then on the outside by High Flight Star Marani. Hot action very deep. Then comes Nixon and Champagne Party on the core. Hello Country Club run off the track. A good margin away next as they turn the corner, Mighty Willem, and then comes on the outside Mnemonic. They straighten up. Mays K on top of the rise, just in front of Doff the Cap, racing a little ungenerously. 3 lengths to I'm Ready, then Nixon, followed by Omnicore, and the others headed by High Flight. Marnie's gone for the whip on Mays K. Likewise, Johnston on Doff the Cap, but Mays K's nearly a length off the cap. 2 lengths to Omnicore, followed by High Flight, but Mays K, as flat as a strap, is holding the fast finishing Omnicore. Getting tired, Mays K, but is too good. Mays K wins the breeders from Omnicore, third Off the Cap, then High Flight, Country Club and Nixon. A gap Petrero, and then came Mighty Willem, further back Champagne Party and a Mnemonic.
And Mays K 5 to 4 and favourite in the first event, Omnicorp at 33 to 1 and Doff the Cap at 9 to 2. The second event was the Reginald Allen Handicap over 1400 and Francet the favourite at 2 to 1.
Racing in the Reg Allen Handicap, pretty good start, and Nova Edition, one of the best to begin. Abaddon came out well, and so too did Dreams Delight. Parlour pushing up into the firing line from Singeing Lamp, High Resolution Precision Plus. A length further back on the outside, Just As Lovely, followed by Nassau's Daughter, then Francet 3 deep. A length the Hit It Star, off the track Blazing Fontaine, Go Panessa on the rails. Devise second last, 3 or 4 lengths to Lynn's Idol. Onto the course proper, 9.50 to go. And the leader is Nova Edition, a length and a half Parlour, 2 to Singeing Lamp, then Precision Plus. Abaddon on the outside, close handy next, Dreams Delight. Francet wide, High Resolution on the rails. A length the Hit It Star, 1 off the fence on her outside, Blazing Fontaine, and then Just As Lovely and Nassau's Daughter, followed by Go Panessa and Devise, and 4 or 5 lengths to Lynn's Idol. They're at the 600, coming down to approach the home corner, and Nova Edition, a length and a half Parlour. 1 away, third is Abaddon, 2 lengths to Singeing Lamp, and then Dreams Delight and Francet on the outside. Turning at the 400 metres, Parlour has joined Nova Edition, a length to Abaddon, followed by Dreams Delight, and then Singeing Lamp. Francet's under some pressure. At a length, the Blazing Fontaine and Devise. Hit It Star is next as they come to the 200. Parlour shot away here. Abaddon second, Dreams Delight third, but it's Parlour in front, 100 to go. Abaddon is trying a hard out to reach Parlour, but Parlour, ridden for dear life by Malcolm Johnston, will win. Parla beat Abaddon, Devise third, then Dreams Delight, Just as Lovely, Set, Singeing Lap. High Resolution followed by Nova Edition, and then came Hit It Star and Nassel's Daughter.
Well, Malcolm Johnston certainly had a big week. He rode a winner at Caulfield on Thursday and successful on Parla yesterday in Sydney at 16s, Abaddon 14s, Devise 14s, Set the favourite unplaced at 2s. The third event and the favourite here, Balancia, at 7-2.
Racing this time, Hootenanny won from the outside, and Dame de Siècle jumped out pretty well, and moving forward, Belchiog. Calais Gold is going quickly, and also Lady Lindlam showing a lot of speed, and going up quickly, Lilla Flicker with Alcibiade, and on the rail, Hasty Miss. What a go. Then comes Checo. Now Calais Gold drifting back a little, followed on the outside by Shadan. Dame de Siècle starting to lose a little bit of ground. A length, Balancia, Lucky Heaven, and Stately Image is last. Hootenanny joined on the fence by Alcibiade at the 700. A length away third is Checo on the inside, followed in the centre by Lady Lindlam. Wider out Belchiog. Hasty Miss inside La Panessa. 3 deep Calais Gold. 1 Dame de Siècle, followed by Shadan. Balancia going to the extreme outer, and then Lilla Flicker, Lucky Heaven, and last of all Stately Image not travelling well. Homeward bound by the 400, Hootenanny about a half length clear. Alcibiade second, Belchiog third, followed then by La Panessa. Dame de Siècle running on. Hasty Miss held up for a gap, and at the head of the others, Balancia. Inside the 200, Hootenanny, the gouge goes for her. On the outside, Dame de Siècle coming at Hootenanny. Dame de Siècle finishing right over the top of Hootenanny and Dame de Siècle. By golly, she's come good. Once she went to the Gold Coast, it must be that beautiful Queensland air and sunshine. And Dame de Siècle has beaten Hootenanny and Balancia. Followed home then by La Panessa, Hasty Miss, and Alcibiade, Checo, Lily Flicker. Further away, Lucky Heaven, then Lady Lindlam, Stately Image, Belchiog, Shadan, and
Dame de Siècle 13-2, Hootenanny 11-2, and Balancia 7-2 and favourite in race number 3. The fourth at Randwick yesterday, the Squatters Welter handicap, and the Cowboy was the popular pick at 7-2.
They're off. And the Queenslander Emperor's Fury got the best of the start. Kiwi Kong away well, and so was Max Treasure and Full Page, and a length further back on the inside, Shinakima. The Cowboy is handily positioned, followed by Farris King and Robbie and Steel. Wonder Lady Nuke, a length the Regal Boucher Elroy. Then Bow Kingdom on the outside from Rheingard and Gluteus. Panama Jack back second last, and Absolute is snuffed out. Onto the course proper, past the 1,000 they go, and Sorensen had taken Shinakima to the lead, a length the Cowboy, third Pico on the outside, a length and a half to Kiwi Kong inside Full Page, and then Max Treasure followed closely by Robbie and Steele. Entrenched as Farris King, wider Regal Boucher, then Lady Nuke, and on the rails next as they run down the side, Elroy followed by on the outside Emperor's Fury has lost his good early posse. The fence is Bow Kingdom, Wonder Gluteus, and then Rheingard, second last Panama Jack, and snuffed out as Stone Motherless last. Shinakima first around the corner, but being tackled hotly on the outside by the favourite, the Cowboy. 2.5 to Kiwi Kong, followed by Full Page, Pico, Regal Boucher, and Robbie and Steele is under severe pressure at the 200 metres, and the Cowboy just leads Shinakima. Full Page coming at the Cowboy, followed by Kiwi Kong, then Regal Boucher. Full Page on the outside, doing a shade better than the Cowboy. Shinakima kicking back, that Full Page the outside. Cassidy throwing everything at it, and it'll win it. It's Full Page just beating all very tight for second and third between the Cowboy and Shinakima. Behind those, Kiwi Kong with Robbie and Steele, Bow Kingdom, then Elroy, Max Treasure, Farris King, Panama Jack.
Full Page at 10-1, a dead heat for second between Shinakima 14s and the Cowboy, the 7-2 favourite. Race 5, the main event at Randwick yesterday, the George Main Stakes over 1,600 at a top-class field, and the favourite here was the brilliant mare Shankill Lass at 9-4.
Roman Artist on the inside leads Dandy Andy. Third March Akita, then Riverdale. Followed on the outside by Shankill Lass, a length Mr. Bourbon Boy. Drawn over on the inside of Heat of the Moment, and last of all is Dinky Flyer. Around about 8 lengths covers the field in the direction of the 1,200 metres. The speed is Honest and Roman Artist. 3/4 March Akita. A length and a half away third is Dandy Andy. Riverdale on the inside. Shankill Lass is next. She's one off the rails, and Mr. Bourbon Boy out 3 deep, followed by drawn on the inside of Heat of the Moment, and Absolute being Dinky Flyer to the side of the 900, little or no change on the order. And Roman Artist by about a length and a half, March Akita. Riverdale on the inside of Dandy Andy. Then comes Shankill Lass on the inside of Mr. Bourbon Boy. Then drawn over on the rails from Heat of the Moment. And still last of all is Dinky Flyer. No change to the 700. And Roman Artist about a half length clear. March Akita sitting on the outside of him second. Riverdale nailed away from Dandy Andy. Shankill Lass, Mr. Bourbon Boy, Heat of the Moment. Dinky Flyer the outside and drawn as last of all, but only about 7 lengths from the leader, Roman Artist. On the turn, 400 to go. Roman Artist just leading Marchiquita. A length away, Riverdale. Dandy Andy drawn as bullocking clear now. Here he comes. Mr. Bourbon Boy going backwards. Shankill Lass not doing enough from Dinky Flyer. Drawn is coming after Marchiquita. Marchiquita at the 100 metres, taken on by the pint-sized little stallion. Drawn collars Marchiquita. Drawn going home a shade better. Drawn, I think, is one of the nose. I think Drawn a nose Marchiquita in a ripper. Third was Roman Artist, followed home then by Riverdale and Dandy Andy, Shankill Lass, Mr. Bourbon Boy.
Well, it certainly was a ripper, and Marchiquita with the bob of the head at 33 to 1, Drawn 3 to 1. Roman Artist 50s, and the favourite Shankill Lass finished well back at 9 to 4. In the Sir Brian Crowley Stakes, race 6, the favourite here was Pre-Catalan at 13 to 8 on.
10 and away they go. And one of the best to begin was Pre-Catalan. Compton looking for the lead on the hot pot, but Atlantic Mission, Misty Crony and Savenza keeping him wide. And Celebrity Park booting up on the inside. The favourite's about 5 deep. And then Classic Ella. And further back is Rock All on the outside, followed by Sound Horizon, Gala Occasion and Last Urbane. Over the crossing at the 800, Atlantic Mission went off the rails, about to be joined by Celebrity Park. 3 deep is Pre-Catalan, a little over a length Savenza, then the grey mare Misty Crony, or the grey filly. A length and a half then two on the outside, Rock All. One off the rails, just shading Rock All, is Sound Horizon from Classic Ella, Urbane and Gala Occasion last. As they commence the run around the corner, and Atlantic Mission just shows the way from Pre-Catalan. Savenza in third position, a length and a Misty Crony, followed closely by Sound Horizon running home well. At a length and a Rock All. Pre-Catalan struggling, Savenza's headed it. Sound Horizon coming into it alone, inclined to hang, and then Rock All on the outside. The leader is Savenza. Pre-Catalan fighting back on the inside, and then comes Sound Horizon, but Savenza's just in front. Sound Horizon coming at it now. Oh, golly, here's another one. Sound Horizon has dived at Savenza. Rock All's flashed at the pair of them on the outside, and Pre-Catalan's been beaten on the rails. What a beauty.
Certainly was a beauty, a four-way finish. Sound Horizon got there at 12, Savenza 5s, and Pre-Catalan got third, the favourite, at 13 to 8 on. Race 7 was the Colin Stephen Quality Handicap. The distance was 2,400 metres, and the smart mare Born to be Queen was the favourite at 3 to 1.
And one of the best to begin, Social Cream. Dolces are moving up quickly, and so is Sir Zephyr. Fourth is Rising Fear, a length Rajamar, Sea Pictures, Jamaica in, and then Cuba's Gold, Born to be Queen. Behind those come to Perth, then Empire Rose and Wineglass. At the head of the rest, Sikorsky, and then Cheer Charlie from Petrus and Experte. Second last being Port Fair, and Sprightly Native is last. Sir Zephyr goes to the lead as they turn out of the straight. And along to the 1800, Sir Zephyr's break is 2 lengths on Rising Fear, ahead away on the outside Dolcezza, 2.5 lengths to Jamaica in outside of Social Cream, and then Cuba's Gold, Rajamar. Midfield next is Sea Pictures, then Born to be Queen racing on the inside, the fave of the second elect Empire Rose. A break to Wineglass as the field starts to break up. From Sikorsky come to Perth, Cheer Charlie. A length into Port Fair from Petrus, Experte second last Sprightly Native. The rider on Sir Zephyr, R. Duffy, really sending him along, and down the back at the 1400, it's a Sir Zephyr about 4 lengths on Rising Fear. In third position, Dolcezza, the Fen Social Cream. A length into Jamaica in, 2.5 to Cuba's Gold. Cheer Charlie gaining ground. From Rajamar, Sea Pictures, a length Sikorsky, Born to be Queen inside of Empire Rose. A length into Come to Perth from Wineglass, Port Fair, Petrus, Experte, and Sprightly Native is last in a long margin from the leader, Sir Zephyr. Onto the side at the 950, Sir Zephyr about 3 lengths on Rising Fear, 2 to Dolcezza. Cheer Charlie racing to fourth, and then Social Cream and Jamaica in, a length further back, Cuba's Gold, followed by Sea Pictures, Rajamar the fence, Sikorsky 3 wide, Empire Rose in the centre. Born to be Queen is badly cluttered away on the fence. 3 lengths then to Come to Perth, being hard ridden with a whip 2 from Port Fair, and then Wineglass, Sprightly Native, Experte. At Absolute is Petrus travelling to the corner, 500 to go, and Sir Zephyr making play, a length and a half Rising Fear, 2 lengths Dolcezza, followed on the outside by Cheer Charlie and Cuba's Gold. A length further back, Rajamar, Jamaica in, Born to be Be Queen into the open now. And Empire Rose is struggling from Sea Pictures and Sikorsky. Rising Fear straight away from Sir Zephyr coming to the 200. And Rising Fear a length and a half now. Sea Pictures and Rajamar second and third, followed by Born to Be Queen and then Kuba's Goal, but it's Rising Fear in front. On the outside, Sea Pictures battling on gallantly, but to no avail. And Rising Fear is going to win well. Rising Fear by a length and a half to Sea Pictures. Third home was Rajamar. Then Born to Be Queen and Kuba's Goal. Sir Zephyr Jamaica in Sikorsky. Port Fair Expertise, Sprightly Native. Then Cheer Charlie, Wineglass, Social Cream. Dropping right out was Empire Rose.
Yes, Rising Fear at 12 to 1, taking out race 7 from Sea Pictures at 25s. Rajaman at 8 to 1. And Born to Be Queen was the favourite unplaced at 3 to 1. In race 8, the 2 Dulcify handicap, the favourite here at Atari.
Coming over, and obviously Gauchi's looking for the lead on Race for Pleasure, and going up past the 1800 metres, he has a glance across the gouge on Race for Pleasure to make sure that he was clear, and he goes to the front, but our Henry moves up to almost join him now. A length away third is Lonely Nights. The speed is slowing. Justine fourth around Royal Reel, a length and a half to Stagecoach, then Imperial Majesty Tristram, a further length and a half at Atari, and a half the rails Hader Prince. Racing to the back, and Lonely Nights rider wasn't happy with the speed, young Beedman. And going past the 1400, Lonely Nights by 2 Hour Henry, a half Race for Pleasure, 3 Royal Reel and a half the outer Justine. A little more than a length Imperial Majesty is followed closely then by Stagecoach. Then Tristram near the rail, at Atari second last, and last is Hader Prince. Not a lot of change in the order, going on to the far corner near the 1100 metres, and Lonely Nights 3/4 of a length Our Henry. Race for Pleasure camped away on the inside of the grey Royal Reel. Imperial Majesty next on the rails, 5th from Justine, and then comes near the fence Tristram over Stagecoach. At Atari second last, and Hader Prince brings up the rear, and he'd be about 8 or 10 lengths from the leader, which is Lonely Nights, as they go to the 800 metres. Lonely Nights a half length clear. Sitting second is Our Henry. Royal Reel allowed to slide up into third position now from Race for Pleasure. They're really sprinting hard. Then Imperial Majesty away from the rails from Justine. At Atari starting to make some ground, followed by Tristram hard ridden. Then second last Hader Prince, and Stagecoach the roughie is last. Lonely Nights first around the corner in the final event. Our Henry second, Royal Reel third. Race for Pleasure looking for the run. Imperial Majesty again became snookered, followed by Atari putting in his claim from Justine and Hader Prince. At the 220, Our Henry leads by a head now. Lonely Nights second. Imperial Majesty again getting a clear run. Atari won't go on. Imperial Majesty out after Our Henry. Imperial Majesty doing better, draws away from Our Henry. Tristram and Lonely Nights battle out third, but as they reach the line, an easy one for Imperial Majesty. Second Our Henry, nothing between Lonely Nights and Tristram for third. Then Hader Prince at Atari. Race for Pleasure, Royal Reel, Justine, and tailed off the roughie Stagecoach.
Imperial Majesty 5 to 2 in the last event from Our Henry, 13 to 2. Lonely Nights 8 to 1 at Atari, the favourite unplaced at 9 to 4. Let's take a look at the doubles now. The extra double at Randwick on 8 and 16, $65. Daily double 8 and 10, $192.75. The quadrella on 3, 8, 9 and 2, $8,644.10. The other doubles, the extra double in Adelaide, 7 and 3, $8.90. Daily double 3 and 5, $5.65. In Brisbane, the daily double 1 and 9, $6.85. The extra double at Cranbourne, 11 and 4, $20.50. Daily double on 3 and 2, $9. And the quadrella 3, 8, 2 and 4, $265.95. And that was racing yesterday at Randwick in Sydney, and the results from around Victoria and, of course, around Australia. Well, a big week in greyhound racing. We'll be back to take a look at the highlights, including the running of the Arnott Harper National Sprint Championship after this break. Back to